Hi there and welcome to another video from Hegarty Maths. It's Mr. Hegarty here, and in this video we're again solving equations with x on both sides, but it's our last video on that topic and it's going to be about as complicated as it gets. Right, let's start with something we already know. Please pause the video and try and solve that equation there. Hopefully you got the following. I got myself x is negative 7/4 or 7/4. So I need you to be super good at things like that to be able to do this skill. What are we going to do in this video? Well, we were solving 7x subtract 9 is equal to 3x subtract 16. And this is the type of thing we're going to be doing in this video. We might have one of the expressions divided by something on one of the sides. We might have one of the expressions maybe on the right hand side divided by something. Or we may even have both expressions on either side divided by a particular number, and it's the type of thing we're going to solve. So I think the best way to do it is by doing an example. We're going to try both of these. If you feel like you think you can do it without my help, please pause the video and go ahead and check your answer against me. If you're not sure what to do, let's go through it together. What's annoying me about this question here on the left? That divided by 2 is just annoying me. So I'm thinking to myself, what could I do to both sides of the equation to remove that divide by 2 from this left hand side? What is the opposite of dividing by 2? Multiplying by 2. If I multiply both sides of the equation by 2, I will undo that divide by 2. So I know for sure on the left hand side what I'm going to get myself is the 7x subtract 9, which makes me feel happy because I've got rid of that problem there. On the right hand side, got to be a tiny bit careful. I'm multiplying this whole expression by 2, and when mathematicians multiply an algebraic expression by something, they tend to put the number in front and they'll put a bracket there. Okay, so I like to do that before. I don't want to double it and in one go because I might make a mistake. I'm just going to write the 2 there with a bracket around it. Now let's expand that bracket as my next stage of working. 7x subtract 9 is equal to 2 multiplied by 3x is 6x. 2 multiplied by negative 16 is negative 32. Now I want all the x's on the left hand side and the numbers on the right to solve for x. So this 6x here, I'm going to subtract 6x from both sides. And to undo this take away 9, I'm going to add 9 to both sides at the same time. That will get me with all the x's on the left and all numbers on the right. So 7x take away 6x is a single 1x, which I write like that. Negative 9 add 9 is 0, purposely picked. 6x take away 6x is 0, purposely picked. But negative 32 add 9, what's that going to be? That's going to be equal to negative 23, like that. And therefore our answer is negative 23, and we're done. You could substitute it back in here and check, but I'm not going to do it in this particular video. That is the right answer. Okay, what would I do in this case? Well, just think what I did over here. What didn't I like? I didn't like the divide by 3. So I'm going to multiply both sides by 3. I'm going to multiply this side by 3. I'm going to multiply this side by 3. I did that to undo the divide by 3 on the right hand side. So I know for sure that on the right hand side I'm just left with 3x subtract 16. How does a mathematician write that? I'm just going to take my time and write that as 3 bracket 7x take away 9. And I'm going to, as my next stage, multiply out that bracket. So I'd get 21x subtract 27 is equal to 3x subtract 16. Now I need all the x's on the left hand side and all the numbers on the right hand side. So this 3x, I'm going to purposefully subtract 3x from both sides to remove it. This negative 27, I'm going to purposefully add 27 to both sides to get rid of that as well. What will I have? Well, on the left hand side I'll have 21x take away 3x is equal to 18x, and on the right hand side I'll have negative 16 add 27, which is going to be positive 11, which I'll just write like that. And what do I do now? Well, I'm going to divide both sides by that 18 to get x by itself, and I will get myself x is equal to 11 over 18. And again, it's dead hard to check. I'm not going to even try, but that is the right answer. with these type of questions, just take your time and get the things right, because checking is just as hard as actually doing the thing in the first place. Okay, let's try some more examples. Pause the video if you feel like you can do this one without any help. Okay, what am I going to do? Well, I'm going to think to myself, what don't I like? I don't like that divide by 2 at all, and I don't like that divide by 5. So I'm going to have to take some action in order to get rid of that divide by 2 and get rid of that divide by 5. Well, I'm going to multiply. Let's just deal with this one first. I'm going to multiply both sides by 2. And what will that do? I purposely multiply by 2 to get rid of that 2 here, and I'd get myself 6x subtract 9 is equal to, now this whole thing multiplied by 2. I'm going to write the 2 at the front, brackets. Don't forget that divide by 5 is not gone anywhere yet. So I'm just going to write 2 times, or 2 bracket 3x subtract 16 over 5. Okay? Now, this is the next thing. I still don't like that divide by 5. So I can, there's no harm multiplying both sides by 5, and that will get rid of that factor of 5 on the bottom. That 5 on top will get rid of that. So I've multiplied both sides by 5 on purpose to get rid of that 5. So what will I have? Well, on the right hand side I've still got my 2, and I've got brackets 3x subtract 16. And on this side I'm going to have 5 brackets 6x subtract 9, like that. Now, just at this stage, I just want to rewrite the original question, because there is a shortcut that works in this case that you might want to use in future. I got from here to this line here. Could you see how I could have got there without this big worry here? Well, this 2 that was dividing by ended up there, didn't it? You see it here, timesing by the expression on the numerator. And that 5 here ended up being over here, multiplying by what was on this side's numerator. And you can like effectively cross multiply, it's called, and get yourself that line in one go, as long as you understand why we actually can get there. Anyway, what do I do from this point? I multiply out the brackets and do my same old thing. 5 multiplied by 6x is 30x, take away 45 is going to equal 6x subtract 32. I want all the x's on the left hand side, all the numbers on the right. I'm purposely going to subtract 6x from both sides to get rid of the x's there, and I'm going to purposefully add 45 to both sides in order to get rid of the numbers on that side. What will I get myself? Well, I will get myself 30x take away 6x is equal to 24x is equal to negative 32 add 45 is going to equal 13. I'm finally going to divide both sides by 24, and I've got myself that x is going to equal 13 over 24, and I'm done. Checking it is just as hard as doing all this work. I got the right answer. Just make sure you take your time in these in order to get the right answer, because it's dead hard to check. Okay, last one. Pause the video, have a go. Okay, I don't like this divide by 2, so I'm going to multiply both sides by 2. Okay, that will cancel that 2 there, and I'm left with simply 9 subtract 6x is equal to 2, and I'm going to multiply this whole expression, so I'm going to put a brackets around 3x take away 16. Let's, as our next line, multiply out the brackets. 9 subtract 6x is equal to 6x take away 32. Now, more x's are on the right hand side, because there's positive 6x, than the left hand side where there's negative 6x. So I'm just going to write the expressions or change the sides in which the equation works, because it's the same thing, because I want more x's on the left hand side. So 6x subtract 32 is going to equal 9 subtract 6x. So I want the x's on the left and the number on the right. So to undo that, negative 6x, I'm going to add 6x to both sides. And to undo that subtract 32, I'm going to add 32 to both sides. And then I'm going to state what I've got. Well, on the left hand side, 6x add 6x is 12x. That's obviously 0, I picked on purpose. 9 add 32 is going to equal 41. Now I'm going to divide both sides by 12, so to undo the multiply by 12, and I'm going to get myself at the end x is equal to 41 over 12, and I'm done. And that's it for this video. Thanks for watching.